We start with the Brooklyn Nets losing to the Miami Heat. They are now 1.5 games behind the Sixers in the East. Jalen, can this Nets team be the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference?
This is the first time you asked me a big question about the Nets, whether it's winning the championship or winning the East or having the number 1 seed, that I'm going to say no.
Oh.
I think the Philadelphia 76ers will take the number 1 seed. Joel Embiid has been outstanding, as we all know, just been so very dominant, looking like a modern-day Moses Malone out there. Tobias Harris has been terrific all season. Ben Simmons is in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year, and we know that Doc Rivers and the team surrounded itself with shooting. I think they understand it, and they're going to go for it. The Nets' injuries are starting to concern me, Jacoby. Yes, like everybody else, I know what I see. If they're healthy, they should win the conference. But we don't know if they're going to be healthy because it's obvious they've only played 7 games as a collection this year. And Kevin Durant could have come back likely in that game because of a knee to the thigh. But Knicks happen, and all of a sudden, that can sway a playoff series as well. And so here's what I'll also say about the Nets. They're not flawless. They're going to struggle defending great bigs in the East. Yep. Embiid, Giannis, and Bam. That issue is not going to go away. And also the chemistry. Is it going to be there? New coaching staff, new players, new reserves now signed to the team. And so the talent is there, but it's not going to get them the number 1 seed.
Jalen, I live in New York City, and the Nets have 3 of the best players in the NBA. They have a star-studded, superstar-laden roster, but none of it matters because the New York Knicks cannot be stopped. The New York Knicks own New York, and they now have won 6 games in a row.
Easy. You so
powered
happy.
by Derrick Rose, Julius Randle, yesterday beating the Pelicans in a matinee on national TV. This is a New York Knicks town. What do you think about this streak from the Knicks?
I think that I love looking at my friend Jacoby, my brother from another, and down at my phone and my emails, and happy for so many of my New York Knickerbocker fans that are enthusiastic about this team. Look at Derrick Rose turning the corner with the left hand.
Yep.
Now, if you're Lonzo Ball, you can't fall asleep defensively. That was piston on piston play right there. Bullock, a former member of our squad too. But at the end of that game, as I want to give the Knicks their prop, Julius Randle has been outstanding, Jacoby.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the 10 assists. His playmaking and his three-point shooting have really elevated. And let's give R.J. Barrett some credit. Second-year player in New York City, improved in points, rebounds, and assists, three-point shooting, free throw shooting, playing heavy minutes for the Knickerbockers, doing a great job.
Julius Randle shot 30% from 3 the first 6 seasons in the league, and now he shoots 40% from 3. He has turned it on, and one of the things about the success of this New York Knicks team is they're basically auditioning for free agents to make the New York area a free agent destination again, and Madison Square Garden specifically. And Jalen, let's listen to what Zion Williamson had to say about exactly that after the game.
New York is the mecca of basketball. I love playing here. This atmosphere, you know, whether they're cheering for you, whether they're booing for you, it's amazing. Honestly, I think outside of New Orleans, obviously, I think this might be my favorite place to play outside of New Orleans. I can't even lie to you. I can't lie to you.
Look at that smile on his face, Jalen Rose. Why is he doing this? This means he's definitely going to be a Knickerbocker, right? He's definitely guaranteed to be a New York Knicks based on what he said, right?
I got to give a couple of shout-outs. And by the way, Spike Lee and Charles Oakley had to sacrifice and crawl for all of you Knickerbocker fans to be enthusiastic. The Zion Williamson speaking into a microphone at his press conference, glowing about what it's like to play on that stage. And so while people are going to shout Leon Rose and people are going to shout my brother Worldwide West, that's one of the coldest nicknames I ever created, by the way. I want to make sure people really give credit to somebody who was in the front office previously that they actually kept. My brother, Scott Perry, who's done a terrific job with that roster and even making sure that not only the young players are productive, like quickly.
They got vets.
Like he quickly came out of nowhere this year, and it's been outstanding. But then you get Tibbs, the vets that's going to make the locker room comfortable, like Fort Green's your brother, Taj Gibson, and Derrick Rose, who turned the corner right there. But here's what I want to say about Zion, and this is what makes me love him as a young man. The unbridled joy that he has playing basketball. Because when he says he enjoys playing in New York, it's the stage. It's not just like the score of the game. It's the atmosphere. It's being on Broadway. It's the superstars that are at the game. It's the marketing, the endorsements. Like, you understand, like, as a former Knick, you know that when you perform there, everywhere, everybody's watching. Scoring 10 in the Garden is like scoring 25 somewhere else. And Zion was really excited about being on that stage and balling.
Absolutely. And we had another basketball game that's worth noting. Last night, the Dallas Mavericks, who are in the play-in position, lost to the Sacramento Kings. So, Jalen, the Mavs complaining about the play-in situation, both from Luka and from Mark Cuban, but then go out and lose to the Kings. What does that tell you?
Well, it tells me that the Mavs, they're struggling to the finish line in Jacoby, and look no further than former New York Knick, Kristaps Porzingis.
Yep.
I see Luka's numbers, but I'm squinting to see Porzingis' 9 points. And you know my vision ain't the best. So I'm like,
1 for 7 from three, 1 for 7 for Porzingis.
Okay, exactly. He's 7'3", and who would have thought that Julius Randle would be shooting better from 3 than him in a season? And so they were supposed to be a dynamic duo. He's supposed to be playing like all-star caliber basketball. And I know he's dealt with some injuries, and Luka's been outstanding. But if the Mavs are going to advance in the playoffs, it can't just be Luka. It has to be KP playing outstanding as well.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.